Personal disclaimer. This video contains non-stop motion that may cause motion or screen sickness prone people to feel nauseous. Cleared Hot is stupid, and by stupid, I mean the stupid fun I had as a kid with no guilt whatsoever as I played games like Desert Strike and Jungle Strike endlessly for hours on my Sega Genesis or in the arcade with friends. In this review of Cleared Hot, I'll give you a rundown on what the game is about, what you can do, just how much daggum fun I'm having with it, and what's to come during early access to determine if you think it's worth the $15 price tag. So let's get right on into it with, what is Cleared Hot? Cleared Hot is a nostalgic helicopter shooter developed by Not Knowing Corporation and published by Microprose. Yes, the same Microprose from the golden age of gaming way back in the day. In this helicopter shooter, you're an ex-pilot down on his luck in the middle of nowhere, Texas, which is most of Texas to be honest, where one small hiccup in a rundown heli turns into a conspiracy-filled fiasco across 12 different missions in Chapter 1 of the current campaign you'll experience during the first phase of early access. And while not a direct copy of Desert Strike or Jungle Strike, it sure as hell feels like the developers wanted to create a one-to-one modern version of this extremely nostalgic 80s era game, from its graphic style to voice acting, basic like tactical mechanics to its Top Gun level soundtrack. Its lighthearted but intense gameplay style makes it super approachable in every way, minus the potential motion sickness thing, and where failure doesn't mean game over, but allows you to try again and again to complete the objectives. As you progress into the campaign, you'll uncover a conspiracy involving rich billionaires and a government unwilling to do anything about it, leaving the fate of the world in your snarky, sassy, yet well-capable hands, along with a crew of other characters that lays down a great deal of humor and chatter to keep things rolling smoothly throughout the missions. There's not much else to it from this standpoint, but time to move on to what can you do in Cleared Hot. The gameplay loop is very straightforward. You take on a mission, use your stuntman suicidal piloting skills to navigate the landscape, seek and destroy enemies or objectives, complete the mission, and get paid, which then allows you to upgrade both your heli and your weapons. Breaking it down a bit further, each mission has its own objectives, which can range from escorting vehicles, rescuing hostages, or taking down entire bases using just your minigun and missiles. Well, not just those two methods. Your heli, just like in Desert Strike, has a grappling hook to pick up weapon caches and health crates to refill your inventory and heal you, sure. But it can also pick up about anything else that makes sense to pick up. That can be collecting hostages for crate rewards, picking up containers to toss at soldiers, picking up soldiers to toss at soldiers, or picking up enemy vehicles to toss at soldiers or other enemy vehicles. To be honest, the grappling hook can be your best friend and the ultimate tool of fun if that's how you want to play. Blowing up pixel people and vehicles with your weapons is just as much fun though. Once you're out of the tutorial style woods of the first few missions, you'll steadily be exposed to better enemies, heavy duty vehicles, new enemy defenses, and things of that nature designed to test your skills at aiming, firing while maneuvering, and dodging while bringing about a good but light sense of tactical warfare as you fly around to avoid being hit by all of these challenges. Sprinkled throughout the missions are crates of cash, and you'll want to nab them when you can, since you can use it and the mission reward money to purchase new helis and upgrade your guns and missiles, which is where the fun really starts to come out. Thankfully, all missions are replayable, so you can stack that cash to access some very cool helicopters, which provides a lot of fun flying in some sweet rides. Which leads me straight into just how much fun. I'll say this, not once in my 3 hours of completing the game was I bored, frustrated, or upset at what was going on, nor upset at the lack of content. Is it a deep game? Not at all, but that doesn't mean it's not fun as heck. You can't physically crash and blow up your helicopter, so running into buildings, slicing through people, or slamming into vehicles brings about that sense of indestructibility that lets you just do some stupidly fun maneuvers and fly around the map without a seeming care in the world. The 6-year-old me was just having an absolute blast playing a modern version of Desert Strike. With Cleared Hot leaning on simple tactical mechanics, this is 100% one of those dumb fun games that puts a lot of power in your hands but can still definitely challenge you when you mess up, like running out of missiles when you're up against a heavy vehicle or defensive system, relying on your minigun to slowly ping away at their health. Unlocking new helicopters that actually have different stats also leans into the light tactical options, as the loadouts will also change, providing some different playstyles when you play missions. I don't know how else to express the fun I had without trying to force more words, but just imagine the childlike fun you had when playing these types of games, being wowed by the gameplay it provides, and that's right where this game hits. Now, I'm sure there were some raised eyebrows at the 3-hour completion, so let's quickly dive into early access and the roadmap. So yes, I fully beat the game as it sits right now in 3 hours. Less than that actually. At early access launch, the game has 12 missions, focusing solely on a campaign in Texas in what's called Chapter 1, along with 8 helicopters to purchase, from the cute little bird to your Vietnam-era Huey, Blackhawks, Apaches, and my personal favorite helicopter, the Chinook, to over a dozen different guns and missile upgrades. You get all of this for a cool $15 at launch. What will you get during early access though? Taking a look at the developer roadmap, we can see that the immediate goal is to complete Chapter 1, then provide 2 more complete chapters of the game, one taking place in a jungle biome that's totally not going to be Vietnam, with more customizations to be added, wrapped up in a final chapter that expands into more biomes with more enemies, weapons, and again, customization options. Taking a look at their early access statement on Steam, it looks like the cost of the game will also increase, I assume as early access continues with more content loaded into it. So if you want in at all, it's best to get in now while the going is cheap. I can imagine that with a game like this, early access might only be 6-ish months, depending on balancing along new updates, with a final 1.0 release price tag probably sitting around $20, a maximum of $25 if Microprose wants to squeeze every penny out of the deal. Honestly, in my opinion, $15 isn't that bad of a deal for that stupid fun factor alone. Heck, I've bought fast food for more than that and been way less satisfied. Being able to replay missions means I can eventually unlock my Chinook, even in this early access state, and since everything is playable and fully usable right now, it's an easy sell to me, so I definitely recommend buying this gem of a nostalgia game. And with that, the end of my review on Cleared Hot, out right now for you to purchase. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to give it a thumbs up, leave your comments about the game and your decision to purchase down in the comments below. Stay tuned for more reviews and other content on the channel. This is Havoc, and I'll see you in the next video.